I mean, that doesn't look good.
Good evening and welcome to this regular meeting for Tuesday, July 2nd. And everybody can please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Grigsby. Here. Mr. Haynes.
Here.
Mrs. McCarthy.
Here.
Mrs. Saxon.
Here.
Mr. Baca.
Here. Finalization of the agenda. Is there anything to add or remove?
The agenda is final as presented.
All right, we're moving to the superintendent treasurer's report.
I would like to welcome Miss Jackie Vance, who would like to share with the board some information about our student success and wellness funds that have been allocated to us this past year.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So the state of Ohio Department of Education has asked that we do an annual report to our board and also that we post on our website how we have used our student wellness and success funds. And I thought at first it might be helpful to let you know what student wellness and success funds are. So if you can click for me, thank you. So districts and schools receive these funds and basically they are to support initiatives that provide wraparound services to address our students' social, emotional, mental health, wellness, and also healthcare services. So there's a combination of what those services can include. One of the other aspects of student wellness and success funds is that they ask that you work collaboratively with a community group agency. On the presentation that I shared with you, there are about 7 different entities that you can work with, and I highlighted the ones that we work with here specifically in North Ridgeville. We work with the LACADA, and we also work with the Mars Board. And they have renamed themselves, if you have not noticed that or seen that. So they have a new name, I think it's Raven? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, we work with the Educational Service Center of Lorain County, and then also a community-based mental health treatment provider. So we work with one specifically that is through the Mars Board with Ohio Guidestone. And then we also work with Winston Consulting and Counseling that we've been working with the last couple of years. So we have covered that requirement of student wellness and success. Next slide. So with these funds, we specifically hire our 2 social workers that work here in the district. We have Rachel Leah and Tanya Coughlin. They've been here for several years. They're getting to be very well known, not only in our district school buildings, but in our community. And the 2 of them together are just an amazing duo. I always say to them, they're the perfect yin and yang, and it's so fun to sit and talk and work with them due to their personalities and how well they work together. We also have our student wellness and prevention coordinator, Elizabeth Wolanski, who also has joined us full-time this past year. And so the 3 of them together really work to organize all the initiatives that we support under the student wellness and success funds. So I listed for you some of these services you've heard me talk about before, but they've organized services with Winston Consulting and Counseling. They saw this past year approximately 64 students. Our services with Ohio Guidestone, as you know, Ohio Guidestone currently this year was only able to offer us 1 day a week for services, and they have been able to service 13 families. Elizabeth and Rachel and Tanya organize and facilitate extensive supports for our students and families that are experiencing homelessness. I have some numbers that I'll show you on the next upcoming slides, but anywhere from helping them gain access to resources in our community, helping them sit and navigate through applications or phone calls because it's an overwhelming time, and also the food deliveries that they do monthly. They also assist with implementing instruction in the classroom that's around suicide prevention, social inclusion, violence prevention, and our social emotional learning. As I indicated, our food delivery from Second Harvest. I thought it was really, we've serviced 21 total families specifically, but 325 boxes of food have been delivered this year. In addition to that, we have participated in ROCKS, which is a program that is called Ruling Our Experiences, and it's a group that's specifically for young middle school and high school girls to build confidence, to also provide them opportunities to feel comfortable with who they are and to explore ways that they can use their voice in a positive way. And then also our Girls in Gear program, which just completed its fourth year. They had over 28 girls that participated in the program, and that was ran by Elizabeth Wolanski, also with Heart and Soul, which is another community initiative that we work with. And then implementing the supports and prevention services through Lakata. Okay. And then I know this is always hard for you guys to see these graphs from where you're at, but I wanted to share with you a couple slides just to represent some of the data from the work that they have been doing. So the number of students and families connected with. And so for this year, and they did it by annually from 21, 22, 23 and forward. And so you can see that this year they connected with a total of approximately 240 families that they directly were servicing in one capacity or another. Social work touch points. I'm always amazed by these numbers. It's over 3,000 touch points. Both Rachel and Tanya specifically have about, on average, 350 to 375 touch points throughout a month. And so that means a phone call, that means a conversation with a teacher, a conversation with a student, connecting with a community agency, trying to find support for community engagement, or trying to build a collaboration. And so I'm always amazed at that number and how they track that data to, you know, it could be something very simple or it could be hours. The next slide will show you school-based counseling referrals. So this past year, specifically between the high school, you can see the difference from last year to this year. Now, please note, we just have been working with Winston last year and this year, but the referrals have skyrocketed. Over at the high school, we were able to level it out a little bit, but over at NRAC, you can see that we were able to increase that, which was a positive. They were available to us more. And then finally, the final graphic that I have for you is just a representation of our homeless population and students and families that are encountering either they're doubled up, or it is also potentially high school students that are unaccompanied youth. So it's a broad terminology and that it includes a lot of families, but you can see that during the pandemic year, we had a high number and then it kind of dropped. But then this year we've seen it go back up. So we serviced about 25 families in different capacities over this past year of services. So that is just a brief summary of some of the work that our social workers and Liz Wolanski has done over the past year. And I'm glad that I was able to share with you the hard work that they've done. Very good. Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Okay, any announcements this evening? Here's an opportunity for a hearing of the public. If anybody in attendance would like to address the Board of Education, now's your opportunity. Okay, seeing none. We'll move it. Excuse me, the education report, Ms. Saxon.
Yes, we have a number of agreements for your consideration under the education report, which include Public School Works, Lorraine County Interagency Agreement, Educational Service Center of Northeast Ohio and Lorraine County, Educational Service Center, East Central Ohio Educational Service Center, Professional Van Service, America's Best Transportation, and a resolution to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the City of North Ridgeville for the School Resource Officer Program supporting 2 officers. Next, we have a supervised overnight field trip for the NRHS cheer team to travel to Ashland University for the purpose of attending UCA Cheer Camp from July 29, 2024 through August 1st, 2024. This is the first reading for these items. The second reading and consideration for approval will be at the July 16th regular meeting.
Thank you. Communications report, Mr. Grigsby.
Buckett.
It is recommended that the Board of Education accept the following gifts with appreciation. A donation of $107,378.97 was donated by the North Ridgeville Athletic Boosters to the School Athletic Department for district athletic purchases. A donation of $11,340 was donated by the North Ridgeville Athletic Boosters to cover student paid participate fees. And a donation of $477.75 from Able Not Label for the high school entrepreneurship class. We thank our community always for the tremendous support of our students at school.
Thank you. Human Resources Report, Mr. Haynes.
Thank you. We have a number of items in the Human Resources Report, 10 support staff substitute contracts, 3 NREA supplemental contracts, 3 non-NREA supplemental contracts. This concludes the Human Resources Report. We have several items to consider on the Human Resources Reports with papers. 1 administrative staff resignation, 1 supervisor staff resignation, 3 certified staff resignations, 2 support staff resignations, 1 non-represented support staff resignation, 1 supplemental contract resignation, 1 administrative staff contract, 3 certified staff appointments, 2 support staff appointments, 1 ESY special education aid substitute contract, 2 extended day contracts. I move to approve the Human Resources Report in 1 reading.
Moved by Mr. Haynes, second by Mr. Grigsby. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Vaca, I'd just like to point out that there was 2 different human resources reports that we're looking at tonight. The first one was for the consent agenda. The second one being the one that we're reviewing
Thank you.
this evening.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Mr. Haynes,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
Mr. Vaca.
Yes. All right, you have some new staff members to introduce this evening.
Good evening, everybody. Happy July. Couple of announcements. As you see, we have a couple of new employees to introduce to you this evening. I would like to make note that we are hiring Jessica Tackett. Will be joining the Liberty staff as a paraprofessional this coming fall. She previously was a student monitor and paraprofessional with the Sheffield Lake City Schools. So we are happy to have her joining us at Liberty. I also would like to make note that Nikki Roth and Tracy Schultz are 2 current valued employees that we have that are moving to different positions next year. So that was 2 on the agenda. And then I would like to introduce Julie Kinder. Come on up. Julie is joining us as an intervention specialist at NRAC. She is going to be in our self-contained ABLE classroom in grades 3-4. We're very fortunate to have Julie back. Julie, as she was going through Ashland and finishing her program, was working as a substitute, under a substitute license with her bachelor's in psychology, I believe. And she had, so she was able to actually do a long-term sub position for us in our preschool. And so we were really fortunate to get her back now that she has finished her IS license and will be joining us at NRAC. She uses, oh geez, I forgot the right one. The one word that she used to describe herself was warm, I believe. All right, so. I was like, maybe it's not. Why do I have these? All right. So we welcome you. Congratulations, this is for you. And I'm gonna have you sit here so we can get your contract signed. She's got it. Here you go. If you will.
You're good. No, you're good. Come on, not on camera. Yeah, the camera's going up. Smile for a minute. Awesome, thank you.
All right, and I am going to introduce Bree Coolio, who is our Liberty principal, who is going to introduce you to her new assistant principal at. Sure.
Hi, everybody. Tonight I'm honored to introduce to you Jennifer Pinzone. She is coming to us from Keystone and the ESC. She was contracted through the ESC as a literacy coach at Keystone. Prior to being at Keystone, she taught kindergarten in Olmsted Falls, where she served as a teacher leader. She was on their district leadership team, their BLT, their PBIS. She helped design like paraprofessional support within their grade level. I mean, she really did all the things that you can think of, was on a ton of different committees, probably ran out of committees. So she did a lot of things as a teacher there. And while she was at Keystone the past year, did a lot of things that we are hoping to do at Liberty this year and things that we do plan to do. We are adopting, as you know, a new ELA curriculum, and that was a big focus for her last year, supporting teachers with adopting a new curriculum. So her expertise in that will be appreciated. She graduated from Ohio University, correct? Yeah, so did I, which is really exciting, with her bachelor's degree, and then John Carroll with her master's in educational administration. So in her interview, we were all just super happy of her like positive energy. It's very contagious. I could feel it even through the screen. And I know she spoke highly of collaboration and building trust and rapport with our students and our staff and their families. So I'm very excited. I know we're going to work well together, and I will let her kind of say a few things if she wants. Yeah, you're welcome.
It's such an honor to be here, so I appreciate this so much. I've had lots of wonderful experiences leading up to this moment, so I'm so happy to add this into the chapter of my journey and my first chapter as administrator. I'm excited to work with Bree and just to touch the lives of kids that are in first and second grade. It's just an amazing opportunity, and the values that you have here at Northridge are really aligned with who I am as an educator, putting kids first and teaching that whole child. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm very excited for our year together.
Great. Yeah.
I'm not gonna post for folks.
Perfect. Congratulations.
Well, welcome to both of you. We're coming to an outstanding district with some amazing people and amazing kids, so welcome. All right, it is recommended the Board of Education adjourn this regular meeting.
Move. Second.
Moved by Ms. McCarthy, by Ms. Saxon. Roll call, please.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby? Yes. Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening.